everyone, welcome to Copilot Studio user group. Girish Uppal and myself, Nehal Shah, run this group from Brisbane, Australia. We host event every month, which is online. So instead of listening to recording on YouTube, you can join our live online event. I'm going to put all the details about how to join the group and how to register for the event in the description box below. So check it out.
My name is Nehal Shah and I am from Brisbane, Australia. I'm business application consultant specializing in Power Apps and Power Pages and other Power Apps ecosystem. I have done few certifications and as I mentioned earlier, I am leading this Copilot Studio user group with Girish. So let's kick off our event. I'm going to cover some of the new features that came up in 2026 release wave 1 for Copilot Studio, and then later Girish will be covering more recent releases like workflow, agent flow, some of the Power Platform admin center settings, and model driven application MCP, which is going to be very interesting. So let's begin.
So first feature I wanted to touch on is give read-only analytics access to users. That is now already available for use. So I'll show you what does it mean and how can you use that. So basically, the analyst role allows you to share agent analytics without giving editing or modification permission for the agent. So you can share your agent analytics with your team, but still get the control that there will be no risk of accidental changes by other team members that you don't want. So until now there was no such feature, and whenever you share agent, it's full rights agent. So when you have your agent open and you go in ellipses and share, you type the name that you want to share with, just typing Girish, and then I'm selecting him and giving the analytics viewer. So this will allow Girish only to view the agent and just analyze all the analytics related things like performance trends and explore the themes and review session data, etc. So he can do that while I can restrict him for any changes. So that is the analytics role. The next one is define custom metrics for analytics. So now you can measure your agent performance and ROI related to your organization's requirement and policies. So you can get business insight and decision making as per your organization approach. So that one is already in public preview and will be available generally from July 2026. So what does that mean and where can you find that option? So when you go to analytics, previously you were seeing just the predefined analytics, but now you can go to custom metrics and create your own metrics. So you can define what do you want to measure and then add the categories. So I have already created one matrix. I'll open that and I'll show you how it looks. So here I have, so this is a grocery shopping agent, and I want to measure that, okay, how much total savings user is achieving by purchasing a predefined grocery basket. And the result categories I have given is excellent, good, for some reason this is hanging and throwing me out, but yeah, the result categories I have defined as excellent, good, moderate. And once you define the categories, you can go next. It will show you preview that how your custom metric will look like. Currently we don't have data, so It's not going to show you very nice preview, but you'll get an idea. Once it will load the preview, you will have this save metric button enable. You can just see the preview. You can see results, prompts. Ah, it's just throwing me out, sorry. But yeah, basically you get an idea. You can just save the metric, and then the custom metrics will be showed under this preview tab, and you can even edit that later. So that is a custom metric. The next on the list is automate web and desktop apps with computer use. So that was available for preview last year, but it is already now available generally from May 7th. So you can go and use it. I'm going to show this one a bit later. The next one is evaluate the entirety of multi-turn conversation. That one was also in preview from 31st March 2026 this year, and it's going to be available in upcoming month, not far away. But yeah, you can still use that one in preview currently. I'm going to show that as well in few seconds. The next one is get Microsoft 365 Copilot agent suggestion based on your work in Copilot Studio. So that one is going to be available from July. So I won't be able to show you, but this is very, very interesting. So I thought of letting you know what does it mean. So basically, this one is when you create your new agent in Copilot Studio, the system will analyzes your past interaction and prior Copilot usage to identify common tasks and workflows. So based on this analysis, Copilot Studio suggests up to 3 agents for M365 Copilot, specially designed for you. And this suggested agent will appear alongside existing template in your agent builder experience, and it will be clearly marked as personalized recommendation. And how it is going to work is Copilot Studio securely analyze your organization Microsoft 365 Copilot memory, respecting privacy and compliance boundaries, and it also it runs the offline process periodically, generates up to 3 suggested agents, and it will be ranked by relevance. And then you will receive an email notification when new suggested agent will be available with direct link to view them in Copilot Studio. Once that link you have in your mailbox, you can review those agents, you can modify instruction, and you can continue refining those agent just how you would do for any other agent. So yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. The next one is also related to Microsoft 365. So that is creating agents optimized for M365 and M365 Copilot Studio users, Copilot users. So that one is going to use your new knowledge types like people, Teams messages, and Exchange inboxes alongside the visual creator and code interpreter. So that will offer an experience similar to Agent Builder. And then this agents can also use topics, Power Platform connectors, agent workflows, and have access to analytics and evaluation. There will be 2 ways that you can access this. You can create new agent in Copilot Studio and configure it for engaging with employees with M365, or you can also export an existing agent that they have created, which will be automatically configured to target employees in M365. So those are some of the new features that we got. The next one is computer use. So computer use is basically that will automate your any manual task. So if you have used Power Platform desktop and configure any activity, it is similar to that. And also if you have ever used Copilot in action mode, it will look similar to that. So it will basically interact with your agent and automate the task on Windows computer and on the website. So it minimizes the errors and reduces the manual effort. So you can also define everything in natural language and no API is needed. I'll show you where that option is. So once you are in your agent page, you can go to tools and add a tool. Here you will see create new computer use. So once you click on that, you have this instruction where you can just define step by step what do you want to automate, which activity you want to automate, like open the website and go to that website and find the flight, whatever you want to automate. Today I'm going to use the predefined template. So this is for data extraction, just to show you how you can write instruction. So you can see that this data extraction template has very clearly defined instruction that go to this website and then find the row for fourth coffee and record the portfolio manager name and current portfolio value exactly as shown, and then return those two values as final output. Once you are happy with that, you can add and configure. When you will press add and configure, it will take you to more configuration settings. Just giving a little bit of time. Yeah, excuse me. So now, yeah, you are on the configuration settings where you can decide your model. Um, and you can see your instruction. You can update your instruction in the instruction builder. You can go to instruction builder and simply tell which task you want to instruct for, and it will automatically create instruction. And once the instructions are created, you can even edit them. It will also show you some of the suggestion that it is unclear UI element and etc. like that. Once you are happy and edited your instruction steps, you can update your instruction here. You can also test your computer use agent. So when you will go in test, it will start testing as per the instruction you have provided, and below instruction you will see how this is following each and every step as we have defined. So I'll just let you observe for a minute. So yeah, now you can see it's telling you computer use, and it's starting to do what we have asked for. So it will open the browser and follow our instruction and basically return those values that we have asked for. Given that we have limited time, I will skip showing you all the things that it's doing, but yeah, you basically got an idea that it's showing you all the steps it's following, and you can follow the activity. Now, once you want to stop the testing, you can stop or finish the testing. You have different input variables where you can add input. So before even running this, it will ask for your input. You can also define your machines and connection credentials that you want to use to run this one. This also has a human supervision. So if agent come across any harmful activity or it gets stuck, it will reach out to the assigned person. And you can also set up response time limit. So if this assigned person doesn't respond in 1 hour, the activity will be expired, and yeah, you have to basically start again. When you will receive an email for human supervision, you will have option in your that email that you can reply to, and agent will get that response and act accordingly. You also have stored credentials, so you can add credential, and you have Azure Key Vault and different option where you can set that up. You also have other access control where you can say only these websites are allowed for computer use, and you can also enforce HTTPS. So these are all the configuration for computer use. Our next um, topic is evaluate the entirety of multi-turn conversation. So this one, until now, we had evaluation on just a single response, but now we have multi-turn evaluation. So basically, you can create the test cases based on multiple conversation. So it improves the accuracy by validating agent quality across full conversation flow and not just the isolated responses. And it reduces the production risk because then we can detect the context loss or breakdowns over multiple turns, because sometimes it happens after few interactions. So those things will be really helpful with this multi-turn conversation evaluation. So I'll show you how you can do that. So when you go to our agent and evaluation, you have this new evaluation button, and now you have this single response and conversation in preview. So until now you were only able to do single response, but now you have this conversation preview. You have multiple options. You can import your chat here and evaluate, or you can also use one of the existing styles. Maybe you can do test chat conversation, and it will uh, uh, evaluate your conversation. So let me go back. So I'm going to use the existing one. So I'll open that, and I have this response for multiple conversation. You have different test methods like general quality, test similarity, and then you can also add other things that you want to evaluate against. When you select, sorry, let me go to other one where I had more options. You can also select and see what conversation it generated, and also you can see the, just give me a second. Basically, you can see the activity map of this each conversation that got get evaluated. So I'll go in the run, and I will select this, and I can see the general quality of this evaluation, and you can see the activity map that what was evaluated and which actions were used. So you can check all that in the run that you run for evaluation. The next one in our list is work IQ. So work IQ is the intelligence layers that your agent can use in real time with shared context of the organization. So you can connect your agent to multiple WorkIQ MCP servers in Copilot Studio, and these tools connect your agents to the WorkIQ services, so you can experience more accurate and relevant personalized responses. You have more, Work IQ Mail, Work IQ Calendar, Work IQ Teams for further enhancing the capabilities. Work IQ is built on three tightly integrated layers, which is data, contacts, and skills and tools. Data unifies the signals from files, emails, meetings, chats, and business system across M365 to capture how work happens across the organization. uh, in the context level, it builds the understanding of how people and team work, enabling your agent to stay aligned to priorities and remain consistent across tasks, apps, and sessions. And on the skill level, skills and tools brings together all the model skills and tools so agent can reason and take action by using work IQ MCP tools. So, and the supported clients are M365 Admin Center, Copilot Studio, and Microsoft Foundry. So for Work IQ MCP, that's another tool and MCP. So you can go in, add a tool, and just search for Work IQ, and you will get the Work IQ MCP control where you can add. I have to go here in model context protocol, and you will get all the Work IQ related MCPs. Today I'm going to just add Work IQ Mail. So when you connect that, uh, you will be asked for connection, and you can just add and configure Work IQ Mail. And once it is configured, you can ask your agent to, so I'll just go to overview and test, and you can just ask your agent to send an email from here, and it will use, sorry, I just put some email. Let me put this one. And send. So you can see that that has used Work IQ Mail when asked for sending an email. If you haven't connected, it will ask for connection, and uh, yeah, currently it's saying I'm unable to email because I haven't got the Outlook connector for this tenant. So, but you got an idea that you can add Work IQ Mail and use it that way. So the next one I wanted to show you is the connectors as tools. So we have different connectors, and we can use that in three different ways. Add a tool from pre-built connector. We can also use a pre-built connector in a topic, and we can also uh, create a custom connector to add an agent. So I'll show you in action. So when you will go to tools, and you have add a tool connectors, you have different connectors here, and if you want to use any of this one, you can use, or you can search here, and it will come with more connectors. when you will go in any of the connectors, it will show you more tools for that connector, and you can add that. It will ask for the connection, and you can add and configure that connector. So that is the connector use from the tool. Now you can also use the connector from the topic. So sorry, this one is just more configuration that you can do. Now I'll show you how you can add tools from topics. So you can go um, to topic, you can add a new topic. I'm just going to use existing one, and you can just add the action and add a tool. In that add a tool, you have this connector options. Now this is a bit tricky. When you will go to connector option and scroll, you will just can see Excel connectors, and then you will be confused if you want to use anything else. But just search for whatever connector you want to use, and it will come up here, even though it wasn't showing in the scroll bar. So basically, you can use the connector and add it. So if you will select again, it will ask for connection and submit. So, and then once that Dataverse connector is added, it will ask for more things to configure. Um, like user authentication and other things. So you can configure that. It will ask for environment, table name, and the whatever table fields are very similar to Power Automate. So that is another way. And the other thing I wanted to show you was, sorry, which one? Custom connector. So in tools, when you go add a tool, see all, you have this custom connector options. So when you open that custom connector, again, you will be redirected to the custom connector Power App screen, where you can create or set up your custom connector. Um, So you can click on new custom connector, and you can use any method to use your to create your custom connectors. Once the custom connector is ready, you can see I have HR Cloud -1. You can go back, and in the tools itself, you can just start searching for HR Cloud. And just enter, and it will bring the custom connector that you have, as you can see, and then you can use all the different tools available within that custom connector. So you can add those tools and use within your agent. So those are the different ways you can use um, the connectors within your agent. And with that, I will like to hand over back to Girish.
Just to give an introduction, I'm Girish. I'm from Brisbane, Australia. So I'm in Microsoft MVP for business applications. I specialize in Power Apps, Power Pages, but I do other work on Power Automate, Power BI, Dynamics 365, and Microsoft 365 as well. So I'm a part of program volunteers. What I'm going to do is in this particular session, we will be covering the recent releases that has happened within the Copilot Studio space. New features, the feature in preview, any feature which has gone GA, and I'll share some resources in the Copilot Studio space. So basically, a couple of things. One thing, I'm going to show you the new workflow in Copilot Studio. So what is the interface, how you can get that, and what are the things which you can create. Also, the other one is Power Platform Admin Center new features. So there are sort of lot of governance, compliance, usability related feature being thrown to the audience. And now you need to start governing those things, right? So how you can make your agent secure, how you can make sure that your organization data is not posted somewhere in the internet and any bot can basically skill or run through it. So setting up policies, setting up knowledge, so setting up those configuration values and tightening your agents ecosystem. So I'm just going to cover those sort of things. But before I go and do all those things, I'd like to show you a resource. Like in my website, I have created a section called as Copilot Studio. So here, I try to gather most of the links, what is relevant to a specific tech. So in Copilot Studio, like if you want to get a trial, this is the link. So it's just like a link aggregator. If you want to know about Copilot Studio blog or a YouTube channel for Copilot Studio, that's Microsoft specific. You want to know about the applied skills or certifications that exist for Copilot Studio. You want to know about licensing, like how that thing, the documentation around that. So those all things are currently available within the site, so you can have a look into that. Also, I've created a separate section called as AI, so artificial intelligence in general. So basically knowing about the companies, going knowing about the large language models, what are the different AI tools that are available apart from the Microsoft ecosystem, and also marketplace. So MCP servers, if you're working on MCP, you want to go into the galleries. So MCP servers, mcp.azure.com, GitHub Marketplace, Microsoft Marketplace, and there is AI Dev Gallery. So there are multiple places to source those MCP servers. Like rather than building anything from scratch, if those things are already existing within the market, why not use that? Plus, if you want to upskill in AI, you can go to different courses like one by Microsoft, one by the community, and there is a whole hands-on labs as well. If you see over here, this is like a documentation, like Copilot Studio implementation guide. So if you want to know about Copilot Studio structure, or if you're just starting fresh, or maybe you are at a level 200 level person who wants to delve deep into the Copilot Studio ecosystem, you can go through this documentation. It's a 167-page doc, but it will cover a lot of things in terms of language, orchestration, the entire lifecycle management, how to test an agent, licensing and capacity, how it is used across channels, clients, and how does a handoff take place. So it's a nice bit of resource to start with. And then you will clearly know how all these bits and pieces, which like Nehal showed, like how it is linked into the entire ecosystem of development of an agent. So it has got nice architecture. It has got an integration with different technology. So those all things you can explore. Other resource is Agent Academy. So if you don't know about it, so Agent Academy, again, it's hosted in Microsoft GitHub. So have a look into it. There's a lot of videos, there's a courses. So there is different badges which you can achieve. Like there's a recruit, there's an operative, there's a commander badge. So have a look into this. And if you want to learn on your own pace, you can go ahead and use this. There are special labs as well. So this needs a bit of configuration, but then you should know that there is something called as Microsoft Copilot Agents Lab. So you can go through the learning resources over here. It will show you like based on level 100, 200, 300. You can pick and choose whatever you want, and then you can undergo those courses. Then moving on to the next part is, uh, as you see over here, this is like a big document. Now this is called as a licensing guide. So if you have any questions around licensing, make sure that you go through this guide, because this guide keeps on it keeps on getting a lot of updates. So if you want to know about what are the consumption, what are the entitlement SKUs, how it can be used with Dataverse, what is the managed environments, how it is linked with the licensing, Copilot credit. So all these questions can be answered using this document, and this is like the single source of truth. Moving on, there is a Copilot Studio blog, which Microsoft frequently posts. So if you want to know more about what is happening within the Copilot Studio ecosystem, have a look into it. They give you more information about all the new capability that is coming into the agent. All right, so that's about all the resources. Now, something which I wanted to show you, I'll come to over here, Power Platform Admin Center. So if you don't know Power Platform Admin Center, navigate to the URL admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com. If you are an admin in your tenant, quite possible you might have gone through this particular URL. Now, first thing, if you want to get something latest, what you need to do is like you click on manage, you first select an environment. And whenever you create a new environment, say, take, for example, if I'm creating a new environment, there are some default settings over here. So make sure that this setting is always turned on. Like say, take, for example, if you are building a research environment, now you want to get the latest and the greatest features. So turn this on, get new features early. Also, when you navigate to Copilot Studio, the URL is copilotstudio.microsoft.com. But if you add preview to it, like copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com, so you get one build higher. Okay. So these are the couple of things. If you remember, you will be able to get all the latest and greatest from Microsoft very early. Now, why I said that? Because the next topic for us is flows. Okay. Now, you might be seeing this flows so many times in Copilot Studio. You might have built a workflow. There's a bit of new thing come into picture over here. So you can see new workflow, but you can see something called as new agent flow as well. Okay. Now, I'm going to go through these things. But before we even understand Copilot Studio stuff, now Copilot Studio is part of Microsoft Power Platform. Now, earlier, like when Copilot Studio newly came in, there was no concept of flows. Now, in Power Platform, you had something called as a Power Automate flow. So if you see this flow, you might have created a lot of flows. Now, the flow has a trigger, flow has some action, and you can build a some business process around it, right? So this is the old interface navigated through make.powerautomate.com. Now, if you want to see the new designer, you just turn this on, and then here you will see the new designer. So this is a new designer. So this is the old one using make.powerautomate.com. This is a new one. Okay. Now this is Power Automate. Now, the moment you go into Copilot Studio, you get something called as an agent flow, right? So let me see if I have an agent flow. So if I click on new agent flow, what happens is like you will see this interface. Now this is pretty much new, right? This is much better than the Power Automate new interface. Like here, yes, you can do drag and drop, but then here you get a lot of flexibility, right? Now, what Microsoft has done is like they have again provided you a more recent interface. Okay, so if you go into workflows, flow, instead of agent flow, if you just click on new workflow, you get a brand new interface. Now, this is different than this. Okay, now the topic for today is to explore this, like what it is, why do we need this, and what is the difference between a flow and an agent flow. Now, currently, there are subtle differences between the agent flow and the workflow within Copilot Studio. This is workflow. Now, you can treat this as a subset of the agent flow or the cloud flow. But we are getting a lot of features over a period of time in this particular workflow. Now, when you build a business process, and if you build something repeatable and once which is somewhat related to an agent or artificial intelligence, uh, you need to build all this flow using this workflow. So I know the concept is a bit confusing because in Power Platform, workflow is a term for an old way of building the business process. But think of it like this is like a workflow powered by AI. Now, if you see over here, it has got a start trigger, right? Simple. On the left hand side, you get a few controls, right? Now it has got a nice interface, so you can zoom in, you can zoom out, and then you can add something over here. So you can add a note. Now this was not there in the previous version. So maybe I can just specify what this flow is for HR. So I can just type in some information about this flow. I can change the color. Now this trigger, if you see over here, if you don't want a manual trigger, you can go ahead and select recurrence. And now in recurrence, all this information or the parameter you can just type in and then it will be a schedule. You can schedule this flow, whether you want it daily, hourly, monthly, weekly, those things you can configure. Now this is all nicely presented. But if you think like, okay, I don't want manual, I don't want recurrence, I want something related to a connector. So you can select a connector. So take, for example, if an email comes in Outlook, so you can just type in Outlook, or maybe you can type in SharePoint. And then when a new email arrives in a shared mailbox, if that is the trigger, you can select that, and then you can process your operation. Now, as you see over here, we have added a note, we have added one connector, and you can see all the connections you can set from here. So it has got a modern interface. And then, as you see over here, you can set various parameters. So original mailbox address, maybe I can just type in my name, and then my email address will appear over here. And now, as you see over here, that error has disappeared. Now, if you want to save this as a workflow, so let me call this as email categorization workflow. So I can just type in the name and then it will save. Now you have a save button, you have an undo button over here. Then now this control set has something called as classify. So take for example, if you're building some customer care application and you have a basically an application which tracks the email received by the customer. So I've got whole bunch of customer who will be mailing me if there are any issues within their system. So what I can do, I can track the shared mailbox content. I can use a classify. So if I just drag and drop over here, you can see that the classify control appears over here. I can arrange this. I'll just first show you like what all the things you can do. So I can add an agent. So maybe I'll just add an agent over here. I can add a prompt. I can add M365 Copilot. So I'm just adding a lot of things. Now this area gets cluttered, right? So you have an option to tidy up. You have an option to switch to vertical layout. So if I just click on fit to view, my entire workflow is now, like from left to right. But in Power Automate Flow, we are used to writing the flow from top to bottom. Now, even that is possible in this particular interface. So if I just say switch to vertical layout, I get my entire flow. And then it is all fluid. So you can just drag and drop whichever area you want. And then you can build those workflow. As you see over here, like the best part is you can even test an individual control without even testing the entire flow. So you get this play button over here. So if I just click on it, I can configure a specific instruction as per the prompt. I can get structured output, custom structured output, or a text response, and I can test within this system itself. So this testing has become modularized. So I need not test an entire flow. I can test an individual action. So that's one of the things. Here you will see something called as two new issues detected. Now there is something called as a health center. So if I click on open health center, I can see that, oh, in classify, it says missing instruction. If I click on missing instruction, I know that is something related to classify. So maybe I'll just move this over here and let me zoom this. So classify control basically allow you to classify the input content. So if you receive an email as a contact center and you receive email related to hardware or software or maybe some service, you can categorize it. So I can say my first category is, say, hardware related. And this one is software related. And I can add multiple categories and I can say this is service related. And you can even name the category. So I can just say this is service and this is software and this is hardware. So what I'm trying to do over here is like once an email is received, I'll be categorizing into different ways. Okay. Now I've added so many controls over here. Let me fit to view and maybe I'll just select this now and I can just press delete, 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 and all these controls are gone now. Again, I will just switch to a horizontal layout because this is the layout I like. Now we are classifying the email. Now this classify block has to get some input, right? Now from where I'm going to get the input. So I'm going to get an input from here. So I can insert a dynamic content. Basically, I'll say any information you put it in the subject line or the body of the message, I'll just specify over here. And you can hover your mouse over here to see what input you're expecting. And from a classification perspective, like if it is hardware related, go to this. If it is software related, go to this. Now, let's assume I built a bot which handles all the queries related to hardware. So I select agent over here. Now, when you select an agent, you get an option to either create an agent, select the model over here, or maybe I can select the agent which I've already created. So let's assume Brussels City agent is an agent which manages all the hardware related information. So I just need to give the message, and the message will come from the body of the email. Let's assume. So I can specify now here, if you see over here, you don't get to see the dynamic content for the body of the email. Now, why you don't get? Because you haven't connected it. So let me go ahead and connect this. Now I can connect it like this. And now over here, I can say message will be sent to the agent when it starts run. So I put slash, and then I can just type in body, and now it is connected. So this agent, Brussels City agent, is a hardware agent. I can add other Copilot Studio agents in the workflow. Now, there are two ways to build an agent. One is Copilot Studio and another is M365 Copilot. Now, what if I want any software related queries to be sent to M365 Copilot agent and not the agent built using Copilot Studio? So you have now the capability of M365 Copilot. So you can drag and drop this. And now you can say any software related information will be processed by M365 Copilot. I have a lot of M365 Copilot created in my tenant. So I'm just gonna pick whatever I want. Here, what would you like message of the Copilot to do? Again, you can just say any information which comes to the body part of the email, just process it. And then I can go ahead and process this information, right? I can even test the agent over here without even having any input. So I can just click on test, and then I need to specify what information are you sending. So you specify the category, you specify the confidence, and then you can test it. Now, I'll just save this for a moment. I'll just close this. And maybe I will add a variable. Now, I like the concept of variable. Now, in the old interface, remember, if you want to add a new variable, you just click on new, and then you add a variable. Now, this is like a ugly looking interface. So you select variable, you add a variable, you initialize a variable, you set a variable, you increment a variable. So your flow will look cluttered, right? Like if you have 5 variables and 6 assignment and 2 increments and 5 decrements, it will consume a lot of space. Now, with this modern interface, the best part is you just get a variable block. Now, this is a variable block. Now here, I will add a variable, say X. X is of type string, and maybe I'll just say hello. I will initialize this variable. So maybe I'll just save this first. So this is one of the value within the variable. I can initialize another variable, which is y, which is of type integer. I'll put 23. Now you see over here in the design, I can put n number of variable, I can put n number of assignment, but this will all get contained within this one block. Plus, if I want to perform an operation on x, so I can update a variable. I can say x, and in the operation, it is very easy. You need not even remember the function. It will tell you if it's a string, append to string. Maybe I'll just say hello world. Take an example of an integer value again. Let's update a variable which is of integer type, which is y. And for integer type, you can have an increment and a decrement variable. So again, that's good, right? Increment variable by maybe 2. And then everything, your flow is not cluttered. It's all there in this variable block. Now, if this interface is not good enough, you can expand it and you can add multiple controls. Plus, you can even test within this. So everything you can test within this interface itself. You can provide an input and you can configure it. So this is how basically you can use the interface. Now, what I've done, like I've saved it multiple times, right? Now, the best part over here is like if I click on 3 dots, I can see the version history. And now you can see so many version history created. Now, the best part is like if I want to go to version 1, I can compare the version 1 with version 4. So I can restore it, I can preview it, and I can compare to the current. So if I click on compare to current, I can exactly see what has happened. So something is added, something is removed, oh, none is removed, modified. And then accordingly, I can either exit the compare or maybe I can restore it. Or maybe I can even go ahead and see other options. So what was there in version number 2? So I can go ahead and preview it. So if you see, I previewed version 2. I previewed version 1. 1 didn't had anything. Version 3 had some components. So it had variable components. So I can play around with that. So lot of things to go. There are other things. I'm going to cover this in a separate video itself. But then there are other controls like human review. Like if you want your workflow to uh, get it reviewed if the category is related to maybe service. Okay. So if the service, if someone sends an email related to service, and if it's like maybe in kind of like an urgent care or maybe an urgent request, then you can add a human review to it. And then human reviewer, you can just specify whom you want to send it to, assigned to. Maybe in my organization, maybe Alex is the person who looks after those urgent tickets and say urgent attention needed. And then Alex will receive a notification and then he will further process uh, the request, right? So this is how you can build this. You get a lot of activity analytics tab feature as well. Now, if I just press Control F, I can actually search for the nodes over here. So I can say, if I'm searching for Copilot, as you see over here, it has zoomed in, right? So think about it like your flow is like very big and it is very tiny to search something. Just do a Control F and you can say, if I just want to say human, or maybe if I just type in, say, email, it will just zoom and then it will show you in your screen. And then accordingly, you can come over here and then you can switch to horizontal or vertical layout. You can tidy up. So a lot of things you can perform in this interface. Now, once you save it, you can go ahead and publish. You can view the monitor runs. So again, I haven't run anything, so you will not see any information, but there are capabilities of viewing activity, viewing analytics, and it has got a good insights compared to the previous version. So that's about the workflow. There are other things to cover, but then I don't have this like a specific area to show. But what we can do is like first let's navigate to Power Platform Admin Center and see what are the things that are available currently. So if I go to manage, if I go to products under products Copilot Studio, here you will get a list of agent flows, classic chatbots. So this is like a complete inventory of your entire tenant. So I've got so many agents created with an agent ID, with a blueprint ID. And now if you click on this icon, you will see a lot of other metadata as well. So you will see an Entra app ID agent, Entra agent ID. You get to see which model that agent is using. So all the stats can be viewed from here. From a actions perspective, like you can see say if someone is building an agent, randomly within your organization, you can track actually like who is creating in the default environment. And if that agent is like open, like if your organization information is getting shared, you can basically see it in the recommendation. So some of the recommendations are related to Power Platform, Power Apps kind of a thing. But then if you just scroll down here, you will see maintain tenant hygiene by reviewing unpublished agents. So if someone has created an agent and have published it, then that's a question, right? Like there are 26 unpublished agents in the tenant created more than 90 days ago. So that means there's something wrong. So do we really need this? So, okay, World Coin Guide, I don't need it. I can download this entire thing as a CSV, or I can share it in Teams, or maybe I can view details like who created which environment, and then I can contact that particular individual. Now, if I go to security, under compliance, you will see there's a customer logbox and auditing. But in threat detection, now if you want to control the output in your Copilot Studio agent, you can say, I don't want to show any image or URL as an output in the Copilot Studio agent. So when you're building, say, any agent, so this is one of the agent which I have built now in this box, like if you type in something, Copilot Studio will give you a response back. Now this response, if I don't want that response to be an image or a URL, you can control that. Now, we'll go to the Power Platform admin part, but let me show you another feature. Like if you go to solutions, like I have a simple model driven app which I've created called as a car sales app. Now, if I go into the backend, so this is a simple model driven app. It has accounts, contacts, car sales information, and some custom page which I have created. So this everyone creates, right? Now, in the Power Apps version currently, like if you edit a model driven app, you will see something called as an MCP connected to it. Okay. So this one is a car management app. So if I just click on car management app, it will allow you to edit that model driven app. Now, this model driven app is getting opened. Now, on the left hand side, you will see something called as an app MCP. Now, what does this app MCP does is basically it will surface out the entire app in your Copilot Studio. Now here, like if you're building an agent, you are asking for something and you're returning back some value, right? So that is text or an image or maybe an adaptive card. But what if I say the output which the Copilot Studio agent should give shouldn't be a text, shouldn't be an image, shouldn't be an adaptive card. I want something like an interactive visual or an interactive HTML or an app itself, like I can even do that. Now, how you can achieve that is by going into your model driven app and then from here, clicking on app MCP. Now, what it does, every app will have its own MCP server setup. So if you just set up MCP, it will establish that connection with your app. And now you can see that car management app has got its own app agent. You can also create a custom tools as you see over here. You can use the existing built-in tools like the create record, edit record, view record. Now, this opens a lot of possibility in terms of customizing the output of your Copilot Studio agent. So I can download an app package, which will be a declarative agent. I can upload that declarative agent in Teams as by side loading, and then I can render the entire application output into a Copilot Studio agent. Again, like I'll be covering those in a separate video, but then just wanted to show you like these are the things which is possible. Other things to which note is there is an identity and access section in the Power Platform Admin Center. This is important because if in your organization many people are creating agent, now you want to control the agent access channel. Like I don't want people to go and publish in say X channel. So you can just go ahead and set up, and from here you can actually control the channels where someone can access. So if you say in my organization, no one should be able to publish in Facebook or maybe WhatsApp, I need to remove this. So I need to set up this a setting and say, once I set this for a specific environment, then no one will be able to send or maybe publish an agent to Facebook or WhatsApp. Now, how do you publish it? Like if you go into a specific agent, you get to see publish, right? Now within publish, like you have something called as the channels. Now this channel will be disabled if you configure from there. Okay, so WhatsApp will be disabled, Facebook will be disabled so that your organization data stays within your organization. It doesn't go into the outside world. There are other settings like authentication for agent. If you want to see like for a specific environment, so take for example, Girish prod environment, I don't want people to have other form of authentication like either specify enter authentication or Microsoft authentication or just say no authentication. This is the dangerous one because then anyone can publicly create a no authentication bot and then publish it. So always it should be either Microsoft or Entra or maybe allow all other supported authentication if your organization pretty much open to publish your app. Now, there are other things which are available within the settings related to manage sharing app access control, but the important part is the data and privacy. Now, this is the newly introduced feature, skills in Copilot Studio. So what this does is like it will allow you to decide which types of skills agent can refer. So I selected this option. So basically what is a skill? Skill is again the specialized bots that an agent can use to provide complex responses. Now, Nehal showed you, like you can use computer use, you can add a child agent or an agent, or you can use a knowledge source or a topic, but then an agent can use another agent. So that's where the skills come into picture. Now, where do you get all those settings? You just click on settings, click on skills, and then it will ask you to add a skill. Now, add a skill is basically adding the skill manifest URL. So if you have built a custom bot using a bot framework, you can use that as a skill for a specific agent in Copilot Studio. So that's it, folks. I think we are running out of time, but there's a lot of features. I haven't covered many of them in the Power Platform Admin Center, but I would highly recommend you to go through all the data and privacy, identity and access, and threat detection related feature, which are available for you to configure and use, so that you can bring those governance, compliance, security, and protection for your agents. So I'll just leave it to that. And that's it from my side. Thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you in the next session.
Thanks, everyone.